Featherweight bout here. Alexander Hernandez coming in at even money against Bill Algeo, sitting at minus 130. Over under 2.5 rounds, minus 120 for the over, minus 110 for the under. This is one I'm looking forward to. Bill Algeo, we saw him at UFC Kansas City get the win over TJ Brown in a pretty good scrap there. This one should be a good one too. Alexander Hernandez is always down to throw down. He was in a good fight his last time out against Jim Miller. Took that one on short notice and got it done by decision. But before that, back-to-back losses to Billy Q and Hanato Moicano. It's really been a factor of like blowing his load in the first round. And then we saw him against Jim Miller kind of pace himself a little bit more. And that was at 155. So he's bounced between 155, 145. 145 probably his right weight class. Bill Algeo, he's had a good run in the UFC as well. I mean, he had back-to-back wins against Joanderson Brito. That win ages pretty well. Performance of the night against Herbert Burns. Lost to Andre Fili in a split decision. And then the win over TJ Brown that I just talked about before, a finish in the second round by submission. So he's got good skills all around. I mean, on the feet, he's got good striking. On the ground, he's got good submissions. Alexander Hernandez, explosive athlete. I'm interested to see if he's going to take the same route in this one and kind of pace himself a little bit more. But, time will tell. What do you think in this one?
I kind of like Bill Algeo here. Hernandez is a guy who's kind of struggled at times in his UFC career. He's dangerous, though, on the feet. Like, he swings hard. He's got good boxing. He'll land some takedowns himself, but I think that part of each of these guys' game is going to kind of offset a little bit. Algeo showed in his last fight as well, too. If you want to try to take him down, he's got that good submission game in his back pocket as well. I do like Algeo's gas tank here. I like his volume on the feet. And, when he gets guys a little bit tired, he really pours it on. And he's not like the hardest hitter by any means. He doesn't go out there and flatline a lot of guys, but he does seem to outwork damn near every single one of his opponents in all of his wins. He has that loss recently to Andre Fili about a year ago, to the day almost, that I thought he won that fight. I mean, it's a split decision. It is what it is. Fili maybe had a couple of sequences where he could have finished the fight, but while the fight was standing, I thought Bill Algeo looked pretty good. In this fight against Hernandez, if he doesn't pace himself, it's kind of the same thing we talked about last fight. If Bill Algeo can survive some of those big shots in that first round while doing some decent work himself, rip the body like he does, come upstairs, and just get Hernandez a little bit tired, I think Algeo could start to run away with the fight somewhere in the middle of the second round to the third round. I mean, Hernandez found himself in trouble against Jim Miller in that last fight, late in the fight. And, Bill Algeo is a super long guy as well, to where if he gets in that position against Algeo, I think Algeo has the tools to even submit or finish Hernandez. But, with that long length and his knowledge and skills on the ground, I think it's going to be harder for Hernandez to survive against a guy like Bill compared to a Jim Miller. So I think Hernandez is a good fighter. Like I said, he struggled at a lot of points in his UFC career. But if you look, some of these volume strikers like Billy Quarantillo, guys like that kind of give him problems. I think Algeo can kind of fall into that category and, do some really good work here Saturday night. So at even money, like, it's kind of hard not to take the guy who is coming off of a good win. A guy, who seems like he's got a little more potential and untapped potential at that, in Bill Algeo. So I'm going to stick with him here.
Yeah, Bill Algeo, pretty good frame for featherweight, 6 foot, 73-inch reach. Good striking differential as well, 5.3 or 9.3 compared to 4.32 absorbed. So he's got a good volume on the feet. I do think if he could survive round one, I do think he probably takes over. Might be another good live betting spot to look at, because Hernandez usually really solid in that first round, takes it against Billy Q, cuts him up hard, and then just kind of gasses out. So if Bill can stay in the fight, he's never been knocked out, so that's encouraging to take that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take it for the pick as well. I do think he can just, weather the storm. And if Hernandez doesn't come out hot, I think Bill can, get ahead early and maybe stay there. So I'm going to take Bill for the pick. And at minus 130, it's not bad. I would say it's probably pretty properly priced. But, minus 130, a playable line, we're looking at, minus 400s in a lot of these other fights. So I like it.